Right now, we're joined by Mr. Ahmed Maharam, a writer and political analyst who is connecting with us from New York. Dr. Maharam, welcome.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Please.
Thank you so much for being with us. And why doesn't Israel care for the fate of civilians in these attacks?
Seems like Benjamin Netanyahu, since he started his invasion to Gaza a year ago, and he could not be able to achieve any target or any success. So that makes him to escape to the front, to the Beirut, to Lebanon. And it seems like if what he has in his mind, this long time war has no limit time to be end, is phase number one was Gaza, and now he is moving to phase number two. In his mind, I think he is using the most critical time for America. America internally are very busy with the election kind of engagement. Plus, according to him, he considers since 7th of October 23 that the American administration of Biden and Biden himself are in very weak situation. So to come to America 2 months ahead of the General Assembly and he gave these funny speeches to the Congress, he was feeling like he's a hero because of the most warm welcome he was received by the member of the Congress. And it found later that most of them, they will be paid ahead in order to welcome him and give him this kind of reception. In the General Assembly, actually, he shows exactly what is his target. He doesn't care about what America is advising him. He doesn't care about what the United Nations, what the global. So what happened for the last 10 days in Lebanon, attacking the civilians, and also attacking yesterday the UNIFIL, the United Nations. So that's really critical. And if America is not capable or is not in a position to stop him, I think the European Union, Italy and France, they start to give different messages yesterday. So I think the next few days or weeks will be very difficult to Israel. Maybe he consider the mission in Lebanon will be almost easy for him as Gaza. No, I think the story is different. So either America can do something different, or the lead of that kind of problem can transfer from America, from the United Nations. Maybe European Union can do something in that regard.
So from your point of view here, we're speaking about, or do you think really that Lebanon could become another Gaza? And do you think the world can really tolerate such a scenario?
The time is very critical because I think Benjamin Netanyahu has step number one, so phase number one was Gaza, phase number two is Lebanon. I think the most interesting for him and his target to be achieved later on is phase number three, Iran. But when it comes to that, I think the conclusion that America is not happy or ready to agree with what all Benjamin Netanyahu is dreaming to do. If Iran will be attacked sharply by the way Benjamin Netanyahu wants to do, that can lead not only the area, but the whole world to another big bad scenario. China and Russia are not far from the situation. They will not lead Iran to be attacked, and they are very close allies. So I think the last few days we were told that locally here, the conversation or the talking between Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu, it took really a very tough manner. But let us hope that Netanyahu can be a little bit, at least one time, to be more wise.
Now, the UN has described the rising civilian death toll in Lebanon as totally unacceptable. And the next day, we've seen Israel banning the UN Secretary General from entering Israel. So do you suggest that the UN might take action to curb Israel's actions?
Well, it's not the first time. If the day after 7th of October 23, the General Secretary Guterres, he gave a very good and fair statement. He said that the Israeli has to ask themselves what makes the Hamas and the Palestinians to do what they have done on the 7th of October, because they cannot live like that forever. And the representative of Israel at the General Assembly of the United Nations, he insults the United Nations, he insults America, the country it's hosting on the land, the premises of the United Nations. Also, he insulted everyone, and he said this is the future of the Middle East. So it seems like they have some kind of feeling they are strong enough, and no one can stop them. And that's really critical. It makes the future of the United Nations is very shaky. And I think the General Assembly sometimes, he said, the global has to get some kind of achievement. Since the 70 years when the United Nations was established, the population of the global was 2 billion. Now they are 8 billion. And having 5 countries to be having the strong word from the veto. Now, the General Assembly, I mean, the President of the United Nations, he asked it for some kind of a changing, like give a chance for those 8 billion, to give more chances for other countries like in Africa, in Asia, in different countries in the world, to represent more people, not only 5 countries to be having this veto, it may be 8 or 10 countries. So let us hope that the global can give a good hand to the...
Yes, Mr. Maharam, let me here ask you, now the US has urged Israel to take all possible steps to protect civilians in Lebanon. Now, from your point of view, how serious was that urge? And how serious Israel is really interpreting the American call? And how do you interpret the American response to Israel's actions so far?
To a certain extent, I do agree fully that it is serious from the American side, because the face of America around in front of the world Israeli became very shaky. But I don't think that it will never be ever serious from the other hand. Israel does not consider any advice unless they have to do what they are believing that's good for them. So seriously, America is trying hard to stop this kind of unfair treatment, but Netanyahu and the cabinet of Israel does not care about anything, unfortunately.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ahmed Maharam, for joining us today and for your thoughtful analysis on the situation in Lebanon.